Are you at a crossroads in your career? Ready for a change, but you're not sure how to get there? Don't worry, we are about to produce your best life together. Welcome to the Second Act Success podcast. I am your host, Shannon Russell. I am a former television producer turned boy mom. I left my dream job to find family balance, and in doing so, I produced my dream life. Now I am a business owner, podcaster, and career coach. My mission is to help other women like you find what they are truly meant to be doing. If you are ready to start over in your career or pivot to a new purpose, then get ready to be inspired by stories of women who have done just that. We will share advice and actionable tips to motivate you as you move along on your path. It is time to shine, so let's start producing your balanced life of abundance today. This is Second Act Success. Welcome to the Second Act Success Career Podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Russell. All right, it is celebration time here on Second Act Success because it is the 1-year anniversary of the podcast and the 1-year anniversary of my career coaching business. It's hard for me to believe it because this year has just been a whirlwind of firsts for me. I am so proud to sit here and get to celebrate with you today. First, I want to thank you for listening and for going along on this journey with me. It was, I think, about a year and a half ago when I had the idea to start a podcast. I've always been a huge podcast fan. I listened to Marie Forleo, Jenna Kutcher, Amy Porterfield, John Lee Dumas, all of these huge podcasters. I've learned so much from them. It was actually Marie Forleo and something that she said on her podcast back in, it had to have been 2015, 2016. She was going on her tangent about how everything is figure outable. And that moment of me listening to something that she said in that episode made me realize that I could take a break from my career in television and that I did not have to do what I thought society wanted me to do, which was either be a stay-at-home mom, go to graduate school, get a degree, become a teacher, or work at a 9-to-5 job that I hated. It was something that she said that made me say, no, that is not my path. I decided that I was going to produce my own life and start a business. So to bring it back, a year and a half ago, I was busy running my first business, my Snapology franchise, and something just hit me as I was listening to a podcast that, you know what, I think I could do that. But what would my podcast be about? And I really started to allow myself to think about it, and it really got me thinking about my situation, going from this high-paced entertainment industry type of role that I had for so many years, and now being a small business owner and still having it be busy and stressful and crazy, but it was on my own terms. And I was being the mom that I wanted to be and the wife that I wanted to be, and just living this really full life. And I started thinking about launching a podcast where I could talk about career transitions and how to find success after that pivot, after that change, and how you can get to a place where you can find something new that really fulfills you. For those of you who have been listening to the show for a while, you know that I loved television, that it was my dream to work in TV, and I'm very fortunate that I was able to achieve that goal. But as a high achiever, which I am, I like setting goals for myself. I like setting goals, checking them off of my list. I like feeling accomplished. So I was ready for a new challenge. I need something new to kind of shake things up. While I was contemplating the idea of a possible podcast, I had been helping a friend figure out her next step. She wanted to transition careers and she just kind of didn't know how to do it. And I was helping her kind of work through the process to figure out how she could go from job A to job B without causing a lot of chaos in her family. And as we were walking through that, I really said, okay, this is kind of the nail in the coffin. I knew then and there that this was the opportunity to help others make their career transitions and make it in a way where they feel safe, where they feel like they're educated about it, where they feel like they can do it and it's not so scary. At the same time, I realized I think I can coach. And I went down that path and I got certified and I started really learning a lot about what that would mean to me as well. changing jobs, starting a business, whatever that next step is that someone might be contemplating, it sounds easier than it is, right? It sounds easier to just change your job, change your career, start a business. But I knew that my podcast was going to have to teach and inspire people with stories of how others did that as well. So I can share my story, but I wanted to bring other people on to demonstrate how they were able to change and transition their lives as well. So I set out to create a show about second acts. I envisioned it kind of like How I Built This by Guy Raz, right? But this was How I Changed Careers by me. So it was really just this idea I had, this passion that grew really quickly that I was like, I've got to do this. And I don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about it in case I change my mind. So I really just dove headfirst into it. I took a podcasting course. I took a course on being a career coach. I learned, I educated myself, and then I just leapt. Hey, it's Shannon. If you are enjoying this podcast, then you will love my weekly newsletter. It's full of career advice, productivity tips, and of course, inspiring stories of women who have launched a new career that they love. Just go to secondactsuccess.co to sign up. Plus, you'll get the My Success Vision Board to help you with your 2023 planning as well. Now it's back to the episode. I launched the Second Act Success Career podcast in April of 2022, along with my career coaching business. This was quite the surprise to family and friends who were probably wondering, what crazy idea is Shannon venturing into this time? But to me, it was more of the start of a second act for myself, where I could take my producing experience from TV to produce this podcast, and I could help others produce a second act career of their own, one that really fills them up and brings them joy. And so that's what I set out to do. I think that many of us feel stuck and that change is not even a possibility, especially as a parent, once you're in a relationship, once you're X number of years into a career. It seems really scary and like a far off idea that you actually can make a change, that you can step away from that and shake things up. I set out to prove this theory wrong. I set out to dissuade people from thinking that change is scary by sharing stories of how other people in all walks of life have been able to transition their life into a second act to make their life even better on their own terms has been so incredible. Over this past year, the feedback I have gotten from listeners has been just jaw-dropping to me. The idea that people are listening and then changing their lives because of advice that I have given and inspiration that they hear from other people who have made a change. It really, it's just hard for me to kind of even describe how that feels to me in words. I just take so much pride in knowing that I'm putting out these stories that can just be kind of like a lighthouse to others. And they can say, well, if that person can do it, then I can do it. I think just knowing that you're not alone in this process of change helps. There are people out there that you can turn to. You can listen to their stories. You can ask them questions. You can get an accountability partner. You can find a coach. You can lean on someone to help you when you need that support. I think it's that self-evaluation, that self-realization to know when you might need that extra time to research something or that extra time to sit with an idea before you pull the trigger is important for people to realize about themselves. And I hope that the show has been able to be a platform for others who are thinking about change, who could come and get that inspiration, get those tools and those tips and that advice to then feel educated about the choice that they're making and to be able to make that move. I want to use this anniversary of mine to show you once again how a small idea like grabbing a microphone and starting a podcast can really change your life. The only catch is that you have to start, right? You just have to make one small action move. And that one small action move will lead to 2 action moves that will lead to 3 and will move you that much closer to your goal. Remember, I am raising 2 boys. And I'm running a very busy franchise business. So I didn't have free time to just start a podcast on a whim for fun. But I had this desire to start this new venture to see if I could help people. And what I did is I took the skills that I already had from my previous careers. I knew how to run a business because I was currently running one. And as a television producer, I had interviewed hundreds of celebrities over the years. So I knew how to do an interview. I knew how to use a microphone. My challenge in starting this second business was to really carve out a small amount of time for me in order to start and see if I could pull this off. I just figured, let's try. Let's do this. So if you don't think you have the time, I'm here in your ear right now. I'm here to urge you that you do have a few minutes each week that you can dedicate to yourself and to your goal. 1 hour a week to read a book about the career change that you are planning. Maybe 5 minutes each day to listen to a podcast about the field that you're interested in. You can listen while you're washing the dishes or while you're driving the kids in the car. Take 15 minutes in the morning over coffee or at night before bed to just Google some job opportunities that might be out there for you. Or take 15 minutes on your lunch break to update your resume and your LinkedIn profile. Remember, any and all action steps will take you one step closer to this idea that is swirling around in your head and those voices that we always try to dismiss that are just asking, what if, right? What if this works? All right, so let's recap a little bit here. In 1 year of launching Second Act Success, I have produced 73 episodes. I've gained over 7,000 downloads of the show. I've served many, many amazing clients in my one-on-one coaching program, and I launched a course that has helped my students accelerate their goals of starting a second act. I have also guested on so many shows and podcasts. I've been discussing the power of just envisioning your second act and taking that risk and moving forward, and how we're no longer living in the world where we have to graduate, choose a career, and work in that same job until retirement. As you might know from listening to the show, I am all about checking all of the boxes. We don't have to do one thing. Let's do all of the things. Let's go to the ice cream store, and instead of getting cookie dough, let's get cookie dough and mint chocolate chip and vanilla and Cherry Garcia. Let's just get them all. We have one life that we know of that we get to live, and let's just do it all so we have zero regrets at the end of the day. The best part of this past year, I have to admit, has been relationships. I feel like relationships is the word of the year for me. When I talk about relationships, I mean the relationship I've grown with you. You hardworking, amazing soul who are spending a few minutes of your day listening and hopefully gaining some inspiration and some solace knowing that you are not alone. I've been where you are. I am here today to tell you that you can do it, that there is support out there for you. And just the relationship that you allow us to have, you and I, is the most precious relationship for me. I also cherish the relationships I've built with my clients because I have been able to support my clients and my students as they travel along their paths trying to reach their end goal. That has been really incredible to truly be able to serve them and give back to them. That's just been really, really fulfilling for me as a career coach. I have also fully enwrapped myself in this podcasting community, and in this 1 year, I have built the most amazing friendships with podcasters and guests that have been on my podcast. I mean, these people have become friends and live all over the world, and it's just so special to me that a year ago, I did not know these people who have made such a difference in my life and in my business. It's just been really incredible to be a part of such an amazing community. The most incredible part is that this work that I am doing, I love. So it doesn't feel like work. I try to teach my kids, yeah, mommy's in here and I'm recording a podcast, or I'm writing a script for something, or I am working with a client one-on-one and it might be late, but I love it. And I'm giving back and I'm helping other people. That is something magical that they can take with them as they grow older. They don't have to just choose one career and stick with it. They can have many careers. They can change careers. They can have a podcast. They can be on television. They can write a book. They can be a parent. They can do anything that they set out to do as long as they can look themselves in the mirror and be proud of who they are. It's definitely been a year of growth, a year of firsts, many firsts, and a year of following my heart. I see now that by supporting others through my work as a coach and through this podcast is what I'm meant to be doing. I feel space opening to be able to take on so much more in Second Act Success, and I cannot wait to share this all with you because I feel this second year in business and with the podcast is going to be tenfold of what I can even think about and dream about right now. I am so excited to step into year 2 of Second Act Success with you and to fill you in on all these exciting changes, positive changes that are happening, and to just grow together. Let's both take our journeys and take our goals and our dreams and ambitions of what we see for our future this next year and walk alongside each other as we turn this into a reality. So I am going to ask you one favor as we celebrate together today. Can you think of one goal that you want to accomplish 1 year from now? Think of it and take one small action step today to get you there. If I can build all of this in 1 year, you can too. And remember, I have 73 episodes ready that you can go back and listen to that will tell you how others took action towards their big changes too. So you are not alone. There are other women and men out there who have sat in the same place that you have with the same worries, the same fears, the same, I don't know if this is right. Well, you'll never know if it's right if you do not try. And there's so many ways that you can try an informed, educated way. So go back, listen to the episodes that seem to resonate with you, take those action steps, take that advice to heart, and please know that I am always here to help. DM me on Instagram. I'm at Second Act Success. You can DM me with questions or just to say hi or let me know what you'd like to hear on year 2 of the podcast. Thank you so much for celebrating with me today. I promise to bring you more advice-filled episodes, insights from others on how they made a career change for the better, and I will bring more experts to help you work towards your goals and give you more actionable items that you can implement today. All right, if you have been enjoying this podcast, please make sure that you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss anything on year 2. And leave me a review on Apple Podcasts while you're at it. I would love to hear how this show has impacted you and your life. Thanks again, my friend. Make it a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you for joining us. I hope you found some gems of inspiration and some takeaways to help you on your path to Second Act Success. To view show notes from this episode, visit secondactsuccess.co. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss a single episode. Reviews only take a few moments, and they really do mean so much. Thank you again for listening. I'm Shannon Russell, and this is Second Act Success.